Hi team, it is time for episode 4. Today's topic is pros and cons of social media, because there is a lot. And what we've kind of worked out, even before we started, is that lots of the pros are
also cons.
Lots of the cons.
Yeah.
So it's we've kind of worked out it's the way you translate it, the way you use that information, absorb that information. But we'll go through it, and you can know our thoughts on it.
Yeah, we did briefly touch on it in our Q&A as well.
Jake nearly blew off.
It's more of a rant when I'm involved.
It's usually
and very controversial, so if you like that sort of stuff, then cool. If not, then
don't watch.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. Cool. Alright.
Right, and so first pro?
Yeah. It's just the fact that the sheer amount of information. You know, there's so much information out there. A lot of it's good information, and again, this is then a con, is there's a lot of false information, or misinformation, or whatever you want to call it, or too generalised information, which I think those who wouldn't necessarily know what they're looking for or where to look, they would just assume that information works for everyone or is aimed at everyone.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, unless you know what you're looking for, where to look, who to look for, or specifics, then you might be, chasing the wrong information and then, flogging a dead horse.
You could hurt yourself at the end of the day, like if you're doing the wrong things,
or just not making any progress. Just
that's it. That workout might not get you to what you want.
Yeah.
It might make that person that's promoting it get that way.
Exactly.
And half the time, there's stuff that people promote they don't do themselves.
Yeah.
They're just trying to fit that kind of 20-minute
blitz
workout, whether it's a HIIT, whether it's a quick muscle building workout, but it's usually a quick HIIT blast, whatever. To be quick and simple for social media at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is done to purely look good for Instagram, rather than of it.
Everything is usually
rather than it being of any general and genuine sort of information that's of any value. A lot of the stuff that seems boring is the valuable stuff.
You'll get the most information and correct information from. Yeah.
But ultimately, you can use Instagram as a tool for finding a bit of this, a bit of that. But going out and investigating and trying things out and experimenting for yourself is always going to be the best thing for you, because you know your body better than anyone else. Mm-hmm. Experience is the best teacher. But you can, like I say, use it as a tool to.
I think if you see something that you think that you're going to enjoy off social media, and then go ask your friendly neighbourhood gym instructor, stroke personal trainer, A, their thoughts, B, that you're doing the right techniques for it, and C, they might go, actually that's not probably going to be beneficial towards what you want, however, you could do this instead, so you might enjoy it, it'd be off the same basis of what you've seen, but then they can apply it towards and manage it around your lifestyle, because it just might not work for you.
Exactly. I mean, you could see someone who posts 20-minute bodyweight blitz workouts, which could be okay for a certain amount of people. But if you're a sports athlete and you've been doing it for 15 years, that's going to be of no use to you.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean that it's not useful.
Yeah.
It's just finding what works for you and where to look. Information for almost anything and everything is out there. You just got to find it. Don't just see one thing and see, okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to. That's all I'm going to go at.
You need to do your research. Yeah. And that's where obviously someone in the profession will be more helpful, because and we don't know everything, and we're quite admitting of that, and we will have our areas of expertise. But then they might be able to put you across to someone that knows. Like for me, if I was looking for someone who's wanting more athletic performance, I'd probably say you need to go talk to Jake, because he's going to have more knowledge on that area than I do. So use what you have around you. We're not there to grab your money.
I would say
we're there to help you out.
I would say try to find the people that have the most experience. That have overcome the most barriers and failures themselves, because they're going to then know what to do, what not to do, and then give you an insight as to how to overcome it if you have it yourself, rather than if someone is just giving certain, generic rubbish. If it's generic, that's what it is. It's generic. It's not going to be tailored.
There's no purpose.
Exactly. It's not specific. Whereas if you have goals that are specific, then you want to find someone who can address that rather than just, just do a bit of this, you'll be fine.
Be fine.
No, it doesn't matter.
In the beginning, maybe.
Yeah.
But
everything will work for everyone for the first couple of weeks or months. Because
that's the basics, and you need the basics. But then you need an idea of where you're going.
Yeah. So. And you need to find someone that knows how to take you there.
And that could be anywhere on social media or in the gym round the corner. So just decide where you want to get your information from, I think.
Yeah. So. I honestly, a lot of the time, the best person to speak to isn't necessarily the staff in the gym. It's going to be the person who's been doing it for a long time.
Who's training, yeah.
And that you've seen changes, because they've...
What did you do? What would you recommend? What,
It's like...
How did you lose weight? How did you get strong? What,
Exactly. It's like I go back to the point that I made, and I've made countless times. I made it on the Q&A, was if you've got person A who's never been in a gym before but has spent 6 weeks doing an intensive course to get a certificate to say that they're now a fitness professional, or person B who's been training for 35 years, they've competed in different sports and competed at a top level, and then trained other people, but they haven't got a piece of paper that says that they're qualified. Who are you going to go to?
Proven. You want proven people
exactly.
that know what they're doing.
Exactly.
So
quality is important to find. And
experience. Yeah. Definitely.
It's not just general. If you've got someone who's training 100 people online, but it's just generic rubbish, or you've got someone who trains in person
5 to 10
people, that's going to be so much better, and it is quality, not quantity, I think, in a lot of it.
Yeah, and each workout will be specific towards you.
Especially as you start to progress yourself, because you'll start to realise you're just giving everyone the same useless shit. And I know a few of them.
Don't we all?
So you've got to be careful where you look, but the information is out there, and there is top information out there.
Check out our Instagrams.
Yeah. And check out some of the pages that we follow as well.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because that'll give you an insight as to sort of where we get our stuff from as well. And just read stuff. I mean, there's loads of books that you could get. And
some of the stuff does get outdated.
Of course it does. It's a
constant change.
Evolution.
Like the squat technique has changed for me so many times in the last decade.
Yeah. But the fundamentals will always stay the same because they are...
That's how you squat. Yeah. But there are just some different aspects to look at it. And we're all... Yes, we fundamentally do a squat the same, but we all kind of do it different at the same time. Yeah. So, that's where, you hear these, this is how to do a squat.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, but... Any more pros of social media?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of motivation out there. A lot of people do a lot of motivational posts and videos and pictures and stuff. Obviously for them, but I know a lot of people benefit from it as well. So I think, although there is then a lot of negativity that can go with that personally, if you see someone who's made amazing progress, then do you look at that and think,
why?
Wow, that looks amazing. Yeah. If I train hard, I'm going to look like that, or why don't I look like that?
That's what we were saying earlier about kind of translating that person in front of you. Like they could have trained for let's say a physique competition, and because that's usually what we see. We see a lot of girls in bikinis, guys in tight little shorts posing, and they're at ridiculous levels of body fat. I think people don't tend to realise that because I want abs like such and such, and it's like they ate a certain way, and they had a horrible time probably doing it.
Well, they see these people doing a certain workout and think, if I do that workout, then I'll look like that. Yeah. It's like no. If you do what they've done for 15 years, it's day in day out, then you will look your variation of that.
They are training for a competition.
Yeah,
they are an athlete. Yeah. Like they are training for something very, very specific, and having to eat and train a certain way, and they're restricting themselves to a lot of things.
Yeah. And the top level people very rarely have jobs. That is their job.
That is their
They're
job,
paid by sponsors to do that. So they have the time to spend in the gym and eating every 2.5 hours.
Getting sent all their protein supplements, their workout supplements,
which they get paid,
their
food,
food.
they get paid to advertise.
Yeah.
So they have the luxury of doing that, which 99% of people don't.
Yeah.
So if they think, if I do a bit of this, a bit of that, I'll look like that in a year. No, you won't.
And that doesn't mean to say that you can't go into doing something like that.
Yeah.
But you need to know that you're signing up to a certain way of life.
It's a long-term commitment.
Yeah.
It's not I'll do it for 6 months. No. You do it for 15 years.
And these guys and girls look amazing, but they've had to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
And that might not be what you want.
And back to information. As we were saying, we were saying that there can be too much information, and a lot of it I find is quick workout, sort of like achieve your ultimate body in 30 days. You know, if that's possible, which it could be to a degree to seriously specific people,
and you've got to do it absolutely perfect. Like, I mean, like you have to do all those things that we mentioned: eat right, sleep right, recover right.
But if it's only if it's done, if you achieve it in 30 days and in a short period of time, you won't. It's not sustainable. You won't keep it.
Well, yeah, your body won't be able to. Like, your body hasn't adapted to that managing that life, has it? So it will.
Short-term results are short-term goals.
It's not a sustainable lifestyle, is it? So your body hasn't got used to doing that yet.
No.
So you've got to continue doing the right things. Because people, hear these bloody juice diets and stuff like that. It's like 2-week juice diet. She lost.
Oh, it's such rubbish.
10 kilos or something like that, and you're like, well.
Well, that might be true because they're just putting no calories in their body at all.
Unhealthy, unsafe way of losing weight. Because and I think that's what we are big believers in. It's about consistency.
Yeah, it is.
And it takes time.
Years,
I've been training 10 years. I don't know how long you've been training.
Not as long as that.
And we are still
nowhere near
where I want to be.
It should be a case of there is no end goal.
Yeah, there's no.
You're always pushing for more.
You want to be the best version of you.
Every time.
Like, yesterday you were one person.
Satisfied.
Yeah, yesterday you're one person, today you're a better person. Tomorrow you're going to be an even better person, and you just work on it and work on it.
Yeah.
So that when you do come to the day that you say hello to whoever it is on the other side, you go, I did my best, not I wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Because you're not meant to be perfect.
And that's a negativity. That's a negative thing with social media as well, because it's just like
this idea of perfection. Isn't it?
Yeah. It's like this is you will look like this after X amount of time doing what I've done. It's like no, you won't.
But they didn't tell you everything they've done. That's the thing.
And for how long
I think that's the
doing
biggest thing. Like there's too much information, there's misinformation, and then they leave out all the boring, dull shit. That's
if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true.
Yeah. It takes time.
It is. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, yeah, and they don't involve what's going on in your life. Like, me and Jake are very fortunate in the fact that we don't have a lot of responsibilities. We live alone. We go out with our friends when we want to. If we want to, but training and work is what we live for. Yeah. We don't have kids. We don't have a wife. It's just us, and we get to focus on that. But then you have to think about you guys who do have children and do have jobs that are all irregular and things like that. You just need to manage what you can achieve in the time that you have.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah, and if it's not and don't ever think it's not enough. Like if you're doing something to keep yourself active and healthy,
you're way ahead of those who are doing nothing.
Yeah. And you're probably way ahead of those that are copying workouts done by, I don't know, Ryan, Terry, bloody Joe, like even Joe Wicks. Like love Joe, like I like Joe Wicks as a person, but it's endless.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
But the
stuff that he does is shit.
Some of it. Some of it I like.
I'll take that back actually.
But you can't do everything. Like he's becoming better because he's focusing on different areas now. He's doing more low impact stuff. Obviously, in the beginning, it was literally 15 and 15. Obviously.
Yeah, that's cross shit.
And that was a way of publicising himself on social media. But not all of Joe Wicks' workouts will suit you.
No.
And you might not be able to fit that many, like I think like I can't remember what it is in his 90-day program. There's like 4 or 5 workouts in a week, and you're like, well, what if I can't fit 4 to 5 workouts in a week?
Yeah, what's the compromise?
See, same thing with P90X or Insanity or something like. Insanity's mental. It's 6 workouts a week. Some of them are an hour and 10 minutes long. Like, that's not manageable in a lifestyle. It's also not very good for your joints because it's jumping all over the fucking shop.
I remember seeing all those adverts on those.
I did Insanity for 2 weeks and gave up because it hurt my ankle and my knees too much with all the jumping around doing the fucking. Like,
it looks good for social media.
And all the people that are in Insanity, they look brilliant.
Yeah, they're paid to.
They didn't do Insanity to get to do that.
No, it's all marketing.
Yeah.
It's all for marketing.
So that's a false perception of what.
Do this workout.
Do this
and
really,
you'll look
really
like
horrific workout every day.
No, you won't. It won't happen. You can do all the cardio and jumping around. You're not going to build muscle doing that, which the guys and the girls in those videos have. They do that from lifting weights, sleeping for recovery, and eating proper food.
I always love the end of the Insanity video. He's like, now drink. So this is marketing. Now drink your whatever it is recovery drink.
Yeah.
Which is now on an advertisement after the Insanity workout. You know, so it's all branding. It's all advertising. It's all to make money.
Yeah. So they don't care about you. They care about
what. It's
an
easy, cheap way of for them to get lots and lots.
And
of money.
a lot of the time, they're designed to not be effective, so that you put more money into it to keep it going.
Having it,
But
all in all, I think you can have positive and negative responses from social media.
I think everyone's negative and positive experiences of it will differ as well. I think like not everyone will have the same experiences of the negativity or the positivity. It depends on it's person to person. Like, I know people who love it, who think it's amazing, which is fine and which is great. And I also know other people who think the complete opposite over the same things. So it doesn't matter, it's different. It's different for everyone.
Definitely how you connect with it. Like I think that's something we didn't.
How you interpret it.
Yeah, I think we didn't mention much of like you can create a community on social media, like by finding people that are like-minded to you and follow accounts that are going to benefit you in some way and not make you feel like shit.
Yeah. I think I would actually suggest rather than finding people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, a million, like proper, big people. Find people that are bullshitters. Find people that are just like you, that have the same goals and have similar mindset and are like-minded to you.
Definitely.
Because you'll be able to connect with them on a much more
realistic level. They're not out there to try and get millions of followers.
Exactly.
They're there to try and give you information.
Or they're just out there just doing their own thing.
They're just showing you what they're up to, and it's working for them. Maybe you just give them a message and say, "Hey, saw this. Like, how did you do that?" And they'll probably be absolutely they'll be amazed that anyone's given a shit about it, and they will obviously give you as much information as they want to. Yeah. So
because you've taken the time out to acknowledge something they've done. So that's
they've got only like 200 followers or whatever, but you're doing the right things. Like they're doing the right things that have wanted you to get engaged with them.
Exactly, and then it's like I said, it's going to connect with you a lot more realistically. Following people that are like you rather than following people that 250,000 other people follow just because they take pictures in Dubai.
They're half-naked photos in...
Yeah, I don't follow any people like that. I can't stand it.
Main thing is, you follow us, so appreciate that because, you've got loads of followers, so those girls. But I don't have many followers, but that's, more important to me is reaching out to you and getting the right information across, and we don't have all the information. I think that's why we say follow other people because they're going to give you loads more knowledge. So
I think putting out content for people to see, if they want it, they want it. If they don't, then they won't engage with it. It's there for people who want it. I love putting content out, whether it's like this, which we've only just started doing, or if it's sessions with people that I actually physically have, or any sort of engagements I have with people. I love teaching people stuff. Even if they don't have the same interests as I do, I'll still do it because I like it.
Yeah.
and they can then sense the passion there. And I like teaching people, like I've had to teach myself stuff, and it's great to see people, let's say like-minded and
connecting with what you're engaging with, what we're what we're trying to achieve by doing things like this,
and then people following up at another date, asking and commenting, saying, "I watched this. Can I ask you a question about this?" Because then you've then impacted someone else's life potentially. If you've asked, they've gone out their way to watch your content or whatever, then take it on board.
Then
ask you something about
to
it.
Get even more information.
There's obviously some value of you that they see, so that's great for everyone, and that's all. That's why this sort of stuff should, I think, always be free. I'd never make people pay for this sort of stuff. Firstly, because I don't think it's fair to, and secondly, I've never had to pay for my actual valuable knowledge. So I don't think it's fair to let anyone else.
I think I said in one of my videos that if you change one person's life just by this video, then that's enough for me. Kind of thing. If one person watches a video and goes, "Oh, I'm going to look at social media just slightly differently, and I'm going to do things differently," then great. Yeah. I've won in the end.
But then even if we haven't connected with anyone else, that person might say, "I watched this,
and it was really interesting. You should watch it."
And they're like, "Oh yeah," and then it goes on and on. And no people that get engaged with it, we actually directly engage or we even know who they are.
Yeah.
So
and there's the pros of social media.
Yeah.
Cool. So.
Sweet.
Pros and cons of social media.
Sweet.
Comment in the comments box below with your thoughts on social media. We might have not mentioned something that you think is really important for other people to know.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Always give suggestions as well for what sort of topics you guys might want to see, or if there's anything specific that you feel needs addressing or you want us to address. And obviously we'll try and get on with those as well. Sweet.
Cool. Take care, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.